Peace, fam. So, question of the day. If you ate something and you got sick and you were fine before you realized you ate that one thing, and then the next day you come back, I offer you to eat that same thing. But let's say you're not that wise. Maybe it takes you 2 times to get that. But for a person who's really wise, the next day they'll say, nah, I'm good. I ate that shit yesterday and I got fucked up. Person who's not wise, they'll come back again the next day. Man, that thing you gave me is good, but every time it feels weird. For some reason, every time after I eat that, I don't know, I just start to feel a little weird. I get a little sick and stuff like that. But it's good though. Doesn't make sense. But a person who's thinking will automatically figure out the cause, why that happened, the effect. They already experienced the effect, and they're like, all right, I'm going to refrain from doing that because I already know what that's going to do. If we're talking about how we as people, so-called black people, right, are being mistreated, we're not getting law, we're not receiving justice, we're being gentrified, our babies are getting shot in the streets, then you have to wonder, if we've been experiencing that same type of treatment for almost 2 millenniums, right? Obviously, mathematics, right? Let's just break that shit down to numbers. There has to be some type of mathematical equation taking place to where it is continuing to equal out to that same particular result, right? We march, we protest, we boycotted buses, we did all that shit. Underground railroads, we ran free, we set our shit up, they break our shit down, we did that shit, right? What's the cause of that? Why does that keep happening? Why is it today that our sons and daughters can get shot in the streets, our mothers and fathers, our elders are beaten and shot and disrespected in the streets, and no type of consequences taking place? What is the cause of that effect? There has to be, because the same shit keeps happening to different people of similar complexion. So there has to be a math behind that. There's a mathematics. What's the mathematics? What is the mathematics? Color is the mathematics. Color is the mathematics. Civil rights is not the mathematics. Human rights. Okay? Human rights. And understand that if you do not claim a name and nationality, a free name and nationality, then guess what? You are not considered a human being. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. That is called divine natural law. Honor thy mothers and fathers so that thy life on the earth land, right? On the earth land or the earth plane, which is still a planet without a T. You understand? Plane, planet. You understand what I'm saying? That your days may be long and plentiful on the earth land, the land. Meaning if you want to enjoy the riches of the land, you must be in honor of thy mother and thy father, meaning thine ancestors, thy forebears. You understand what I'm saying? Conducting their continuing the same cultural traditions, like affairs, like the mind state, like knowing what the indigenous name of the landmass is, how we conduct ourselves, our true history, our true culture, and bringing that into manifestation in now time, 2016. So they say, 2016. You understand what I'm saying? So the root of the problem is we don't know ourselves. And if we don't know ourselves, we can't proclaim ourselves. And if we can't proclaim ourselves, we will never own ourselves. And if we can't own ourselves, we can't be free on our land. And if we're not free on our land, we can't own our property, because property can't own property according to the 14th Amendment citizenship. United States. District of Columbia Act, 1871, which incorporated it from a fucking republic to a democracy, which is known as the coup. The coup. The coup. The coup. They killed it. They killed it. But not knowing true history, you'll think that George Washington was the first president of the United States, which he was, of the corporation. Although a lot of people don't know about the Continental Congress. The Continental Congress, which had 8 presidents prior to Georgie. So Georgie was number 9. But number 1 in the corporate, you know what I'm saying? We had 9 previous for the republic. Okay? So understand, even if you go back and start reading George Washington's letter to the Sultan of Morocco, what is it, dated November something, 1789, city of New York, where clearly he states in that, and this is documented in American history, okay, not black history. I'm saying, where he documented stating that Sultan has given to him in the United States generously his dominions. If you look up the term dominions, it means supreme authority over land, territory, or a country. So therefore, if Georgie is writing from the city of New York, east, right? The city of New York, meaning he's in New York, city of New York, writing to the Sultan of Morocco, thank you for giving to our commerce your dominions. And dominion means supreme authority over land, territory, or country. That means shit. Georgie was writing from the dominions of the Sultan. And that's why he was saying, yo, I appreciate that. So if Georgie's writing from the dominions of the Sultan, and we're standing on the very dominions today, in now time 2016, known as America, but a lot of people will call it United States because they think United States is the country when it's really a federal corporation, USC 153002, but nobody likes to read. So you don't know that you home. This is Northwest Africa. Because, you know, the landmass was once a circle. It was whole, like a fist. And then shit happened. You call it the Super Devere, the great earthquakes where the landmass began to separate. You understand? But if you study tectonic plates, you will find out where the landmass once was. Okay? So if you look at New Jersey on the East Coast is directly across from the shores of North Africa, which lets you know that there was a connection point there between Jersey and Northwest Africa. So right now, I am currently in Somal, Maghrib, Amexum, Northwest America, moderately called today. Okay, but this is the Maghrib. If you don't know that, how are you gonna be able to enforce Constitution? Because guess what? If you're of melanated complexion, that means the only way you are a party to the Constitution is by treaty first. Not the Constitution isn't the supreme law of the land. Treaties are the supreme law of the land. With those treaties came the adoption of constitutions, so that those entities or pilgrims who are on our land could do business without getting in our way. That's what the Constitution is for. The Constitution is a business contract. The Republic is a business contract between the indigenous peoples and the pilgrims, or the peregrinos, all right, is what you'll call them, or the colonizers, Europeans, all right? That's what those treaties are for. So that's how we are party to the Constitution, through treaty. We can't just be, I'm talking about melanated people, melanated dark-skinned people, Aboriginal people. That's the only way we can be a party to the Constitution, because we made the Constitution for the peregrinos. We made that Constitution for them so they can operate on our land without us having to fucking hold their ships for ransom, because we were pretty reckless. The same way we're pretty reckless today. You understand what I'm saying? So treaty, if you are of dark melanated complexion, two things you must identify. One, you have ancestral heritage to the soil beneath your feet. There is history that goes back up millions and millions of years. Archaeological, art, sculptures, they go back depicting what? People that look like you, people that look like me. Meaning we've been here way before Columbus. That's one distinction you gotta understand. If you're of melanated complexion, you are indigenous to the planet Earth, wherever you at. You are Aboriginal. It means you are descendants of the original people occupying that particular territory. Okay? Number two, if you're the indigenous people, that means you were colonized. Right? We were colonized. We were colonized. So there were a lot of wars going on. Because we ain't just gonna sit down and let a stranger walk in our crib and there ain't gonna be no beef, there ain't gonna be no bloodshed. So yes, there was plenty of bloodshed, plenty of wars, plenty of lost lives, plenty of sacrifices. So in order to stop those wars, right? Because the Europeans wasn't coming over here dominating us. They're only 6,000 years old, guys. Let's be real. Let's be real. The population of people who've been on this earth land for more than thousands and thousands and hundreds and thousands and millions and billions of years. You're gonna tell them that Europeans came and outnumbered them, had more technology than them? Let's just think about that logically. All right. So once they got tired of warring with us, they made sure they needed to make treaties. Thus, George Washington, Georgie, writing to the Sultan of Morocco, hey, give me a pass so that I can make treaties with the other nations within the Moorish Empire on your dominions, so we don't have beef. That's what the treaty is for. So if you are not standing on a treaty, or if you do not acknowledge that you are a descendant of your ancestors who created the treaty to protect and secure us, then guess what? You're going to fall under second-class citizenship, which is United States citizenship, 14th Amendment citizenship, corporate state citizenship, meaning you're a corpse, you're dead, you're civil litter mortuus, dead in the eyes of the law. You can't exercise rights. Everything you do is under color of law. You can't own shit. If you have kids, they can come take your kids. If you have a house, they can come take your house. If you have a car, they can repossess your car, tow your car. Everything is in debt, and life is a living hell because you cannot serve two masters. It's either you're going to serve yourself or you're going to serve the colonizers. Stop following idol gods. Peace.